400 subs? Who could have known? Over 6 months, oh, my channel has grown. Still kind of small, with skills still honed, but to celebrate, let's talk about an axe that was thrown. Friends, thank you. Oh, thank you. 400 subscribers. It's very exciting. Actually, I just checked before I hit record. 401 people have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm greatly appreciative. You know, 6 months ago, I just started this because, well, we couldn't train, couldn't teach, couldn't do anything arms and armor, European martial arts related, and it was, oh, okay, fine. We'll put some stuff on YouTube and just share some information. And look how it's done. It's actually been well received, and lately people are discovering some of the older videos and leaving some really good positive comments, and yeah, it really makes me feel good. So we hit 400 subscribers. Still a ways to go to get to 1,000. Ideally, it would be nice to monetize the channel, as they call it. Meaning you watch an ad before you watch my videos. My videos are short enough that you're not going to have a whole bunch of interruptions, which is good. But that means money to put back into the channel, because I always want your comments. What would you like to see me talk about? And being able to reinvest into items for the collection to talk about, to share and educate, that would be nice. But for now, 400, that's pretty good. A lot of people don't even get to that. No, it's not hundreds of thousands of people. It's not a juggernaut of a channel. It's not crashing through the ratings, but that wasn't the intention. The intention was just to have a small little community where I could share the things that I know and that I study and research, and just could, you know, get that out there so that other people could benefit from that, whether it's for your own martial arts training, whether it's role-playing games and video games, if you're playing, if you're designing, you know, if you're writing stories, you want to have a little bit more accurate information, great. That was the whole point. And so far, it looks like that's what we're accomplishing as a little community. And so thank you for that. Thank you. You make this happen. You, the viewer, are the most important part. Anyway, because it couldn't be a proper video for me without arms and armor talk about, we're going to look at this little axe today. What is it? Well, it's a Frankish throwing axe. So specific design. You could call it a Francisca or Francisca or Francisca. I think it would be Francisca because it's Frankish, and that means Frankish people. So we're going back about 1400 years. Right, so 7th century, probably, we see this axe used in their accounts that talk about the Franks when they go into battle and they approach their opponents. They have shields and either swords or axes, other armaments, but they all carry an axe, and they throw the axe just before reaching the other line. And the whole goal is to have this kind of throwing axe, because look at that, it's got this curved haft, it's got this upturned spiky point, and you're going to throw it. It could hit and knock aside a shield, or maybe even get stuck in it, and someone's got to take time to remove it. It could hit the ground, bounce up under the shield, and hit someone in the leg even. So it's a really neat kind of design throwing axe. It's got this curved haft, curved head, a little different from a regular hand axe, and certainly different from throwing axes that we see today at a lot of, you know, new businesses. Throwing axes, that's become a fun little hobby, a sport, something that's, you know, emerging, and hopefully after, you know, COVID-19 stuff subsides, these businesses get to reopen and can still do well. I've done some axe throwing out in a field. Our club president, John, he's got a place outside the city, so we can go there and throw a big log, you know, cross-section, and just practice. If you want to get into throwing axes and you have a space and you can do it safely and properly, you can probably get something for $20 or less. I know in Canada, you go to Canadian Tire, you can get like a single piece forged little hand axe. It's got a rubber handle, and it's pretty durable and good for throwing, and you have to get your distance, how you want it to spin, how many paces away from the target. You really do have to practice in order to get it to bite the right way. So am I great at it? No. But it's still fun. And as I get better, and when you're throwing 30, 40, 50th throw that you're getting to on a day, and then finally you start to get it, and then you forget it all the next time you go. So it does take practice and upkeep. But this axe is a very interesting design. We're going back 1400 years, and it's neat. It wants to spin, it wants to roll, it wants to bounce, it wants to fly, it wants to hit into that target. And so the Franks do that. So if you're writing story, if you have a role-playing character that you're making, maybe they have a throwing axe and they throw it at the last moment and then pull out another weapon and into the fight they go. But it really works good en masse. You can imagine, hundreds of soldiers approaching hundreds of other soldiers, and these two forces coming up, and suddenly one side throws a whole bunch of axes out, and you've got 100 axes spinning through the air and impacting targets. Well, that's a little scary. Pretty effective. So again, thank you everyone for your support. Do remember subscribes and likes and notification bells, but most importantly comments. Hopefully we got to see something a little different, but it's been a rough week for a bunch of reasons. So I didn't want to do a huge video today, but I still wanted to do something to say thank you and to talk about something that we hadn't seen from my collection. So there we go. Frankish Throwing Axe. Until next time, do take care, do stay safe. Pandemic times are not officially over. Be responsible, be distant, keep training, keep practicing, and again, thank you.